Hello, I'm going to tell you my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Yesterday's attempted assassination on Trump could have been staged. Because I watched the tape many times. I watched it over and over and over. They knew who it was that was the shooter immediately and shot him dead. It was a guy with three names. You know, those bad guys always have three names, like John Wayne Gacy or something. They all have three names. um, Whatever his name is, blah, 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 and 20 years old, and he's from such and such Pennsylvania. They knew all about this guy, all of a sudden, immediately. And he had an AK-15 or 4, I don't know. I don't know much about guns except they're dangerous. I've shot a gun before, and I'm a damn good shot, but I'm not a gun person. If they did so much X-ray, metal machine, whatever, when you get into an event, you will go through a scanner like TSA. You go through a scanner to see if you have metal on you or whatever. How did someone with a rifle, and those are about almost a meter long, how did someone with a rifle get in? Can't put that down your pant leg, can you? Anyway, how did that get in for the first question? Second question, they knew all about him. So what do I do when something horrendous happens, like a school shooting? I look up that person. I look their profile up to see what may have influenced them. So no sooner did I type this kid's name in, and a video pops up immediately. And it was about, I don't know, it was a short video. He's looking at the camera, directly at the camera, and he says, "My name is blah, 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 blah. I'm 20 years old. I hate Republicans. Blah, 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 blah." And I thought, who does this? I mean, a mentally unstable person probably would do something like that. But I know bad acting when I see it. I've been in community theater for over 40 years. It made me question and question. So I started looking around on the internet to see what a bullet wound, a grazing, if it grazes you, passes by, nips your skin, or what does it look like? And I looked at lots of different images of gunshot wounds and grazings and things like that. And the top of his ear would have been that little bit of cartilage probably would have been obliterated. And it didn't seem to be. And also being a privileged person and being protected all the time, all his life, he probably would have hooped and hollered and screamed and ranted and whatever when he got grazed. I would have. Just from dropping a jar of something on my foot once, I hooped and hollered for a while. And being grazed by a bullet would probably be just as bad, if not worse. There was no hooping and hollering from him. He turned his head way to the side right before it happened. It's like, just look at the video a few times. Be skeptical. Be inquisitive. Who, what, why, where, when, and how. The questions that a good reporter will try to find. I know people will say that I'm a bad person for thinking this way. I don't like Mr. Trump, but the majority of how he is not his fault. His parents raised him to be like that. And everyone around him enabled him to continue being like that. It was like a spoiled kid that was never told the word no. When people would bitch and complain, I'd say, I'd like to talk to him. I want to get behind all this, He needs to be treated. He needs to have a counselor or something. He needs to understand things. Of course he likes dumb people, because dumb people will do whatever. This country is being dumbed down. Don't let it be dumbed down. It's been a very tolerant nation for a long, long time. The original people of this land are the indigenous people, the American Indian, the Native Americans. They're the people that are from this area, this land. Everyone else is an immigrant from the 1500s on. My ancestors came over here in the late 1800s. There was someone said that my German ancestry came over sooner, but basically late 1800s. And there's been certain periods of time when a lot of people came from one country or another due to political unrest or drought or famine or, whatever. And we've tolerated each other. We live next to each other. You may not know your neighbor, but you'll nod your head when you come and go. So they know you're there, and they may acknowledge you, but they may not. People that are purposely mean, I don't care for. I lived under a narcissist all my life. First my mother, then my ex, and then after the divorce back with my mother. It hurts you. It will damage you. And if you were raised that way and been enabled all your life, that's why he's the way he is. I don't like him because he refuses to change. Oh, well, if you got it really, really good, why would you want to change, right? I just don't understand the world. We've lost tolerance, we've lost common sense, and we've lost intelligence. People we need to get back. And not to slavery and women being submissive and no health care for women. That's ridiculous. Man, if you're smart, you want to take care of your woman. You want your woman in good health so she can cook for you, right? I know that's another unpopular opinion with a lot of people. But, if you take care of, even a boss, you take care of your workers, they'll do a good job. I am very upset about the women's health issue thingy. They not only do one thing, they do other things too. They do family planning, because those that don't use contraception due to their religion, they have to know when or when not to have sex. And they can learn through classes, and there's breastfeeding classes, and there's all kinds of things that these agencies can help you with, not just abortions. I had a very, very severe case of fibroids, and I was bleeding to death, basically. And had I not been able to see a gynecologist for the subject, I'd have been gone. And a lot of people are going, yeah, you should have. But that's your opinion. I don't know. Please have some common sense. Don't believe every single thing. Question. Back in the 60s, there was a bumper sticker, question authority. Don't just follow. Be smart. Treat yourself as your own little library. Don't just go by what old Uncle Henry on the radio, the CB band tells you, this conspiracy or that. Don't believe that. No. I know I've blithered on too long. How long? Yeah, too long. And I've said way too much. More than anybody ever wants to hear. That's my opinion. Yeah.